Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so let's have a conversation about lows. You know, you've heard the term hitting an all-new low. Well, like most things, there's levels to this kind of stuff, and I didn't realize that we could go any lower. You know, I thought that ABC's The View was the lowest of the low. You couldn't go lower than whatever product ABC is putting on there with Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, and the rest of them. But of course, the ladies at The View continue to show you that what you thought was impossible is actually in fact quite possible and quite easily achieved. Yep, you get where I'm going with this. They just hit a new all-time low. This time thanks to Whoopi Goldberg, of all people. Honestly, you'd expect it to come from Sunny Hostin, but nope, it's old Whoopi, who this time takes it to a whole other level. Whoopi Goldberg is currently facing some serious heat as she recently caused a boycott targeting a Staten Island bakery because supposedly, according to her claim, they refused her service purely because of her political beliefs. And of course, here's the kicker, pretty much as expected, it's total nonsense. More toxic, divisive, bull you-know-what coming from these hyper left-wing partisans. Let's have a conversation about it. Let me update you guys on everything that's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so Whoopi Goldberg has officially hit a new low, and this time it's more pathetic than anything you could have possibly imagined. She's managed to once again expose her political hypocrisy for the world to see, and it's honestly a sight to behold. Whoopi Goldberg accuses a New York bakery of discriminating against her based purely on political views.
Welcome back. My birthday dessert today was one of my mom's favorites from when she was a kid. And she talked about these all the time. They're called Charlotte Russe. And it's a sponge cake with whipped cream and a cherry on top. Now, I should tell you, Charlotte Russe has no political leanings. And the place that made these refused to make them for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What? Oh,
No. Let me explain. They said that their ovens had gone down, all kinds of stuff, but folks went and got them anyway, which is why I'm not telling you who made them. But can't be because I'm a woman, but perhaps they did not like my politics. Yeah. But that's okay, because you know what? Listen, this is my mother's celebration. Yeah. Pick these up and celebrate with me and my mom. Thank you, everyone, for celebrating my birthday today. I want you all to have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy The View and never let folks get you down.
So that's the accusation. Let's break down exactly what happened here. Whoopi Goldberg, in her typical melodramatic fashion, claims that a Staten Island bakery refused to serve her because of her political beliefs. Yep, as per usual, Whoopi, a multi-millionaire with a cushy job on The View, I mean, it's her job to sit there and say the dumbest things you've heard all week, and she gets paid millions. Well, she decides to play the victim card and claim that she's being discriminated against by a lovely family that makes cupcakes. And of course, like I said earlier, here's the kicker. Apparently, it was a blatant lie. At least that's what the other side's saying. The family that owns the bakery came forward recently, and here's what they revealed. Here's what they said happened, their side of the story.
It's a community that I have to tell you, I'm so overwhelmed by the support between finding out yesterday this even happened, getting phone calls, and then people coming in, people from all over just supporting us in every way. We had phone calls yesterday from Alabama. Guy says, I'm going to give you $50, send it to a school, send them donuts, send them cupcakes. The support has been so overwhelming, and I know how hard my family has worked to keep this business alive, and I wish my father was here today to see this. He would never believe it. My bakers come in 2 or 3 in the morning just to have donuts and rolls for everybody to come in and say, we have the best rolls ever. And you know what? It took my whole family. It takes everybody, the community that comes every day to see us. We have this everyday conversation with everybody. How's the family? How's this? This is what makes Holtemans. It's the community. It's my fellow everything that come out, and us giving back to the community that makes this go round. And if it wasn't for you and Staten Island to make this work, we still wouldn't be here today. So I know my brother, Billy, work hard. Joe, my baker in the back, is here 6 days a week. He gives his heart and soul to this place. And you know what? My father always said, you do what you love. I'm telling you, This is my heart. And I thank you so much for everybody to come out and support us with the Holterman family. It means the world to me. It really does. Thank you so much. Oh, I wish my father was here today.
Oh, good, Jill. Oh, good. So good. The goodness prevails. And just a little background for those who know, they had a boiler here. Again, it's been here 145 years. They had a boiler that was 60 or 70 years old. And the first week in November, guess what? It went on the fritz. They had to be replaced. And the reputation of Holterman's is impeccable, so rather than commit to something they couldn't guarantee, they said we can't do it. And the person who besmirched and defamed them took that as an insult to her. Well, get over it. This family will be here for, God willing, another 145 years. And as Jill said, it's her family, it's the Staten Island community, it's the elected officials. And I hope if you're watching this across the country, go online and order something. And
Yeah, apparently they refused her service not because they don't like her politics, but because one of their ancient boilers broke down. That's right, a mechanical failure was the reason that she couldn't get her pastries, not some anti-progressive conspiracy, just a broken boiler. They felt as though they wouldn't be able to deliver, and so they said, sorry, we can't do it. But in Whoopi's mind, she was discriminated against. She's the victim. You know, really crazy stuff, and what's fascinating is that Whoopi truly believes that conservatives, or anybody who leans right, are intolerant, that they regularly engage in this kind of behavior. But that simply isn't true. Frankly, I just think it's projection because that's how she and her liberal friends in the liberal echo chamber operate. It's her political side that's obsessed with canceling, boycotting, and ostracizing anybody who disagrees or thinks differently or doesn't conform to the groupthink. Just think about it. Just last week, Whoopi and her sanctimonious co-host on The View encouraged their audience to skip Thanksgiving if they were invited by family members who support Donald Trump.
Turns out every holiday season, political talk can be a tough topic to get into. But given the results of last week's election, Yale psychiatrist Dr. Amanda Calhoun suggested to Joy Reid that some people should sit this one out. Take a look.
There is a push, I think just a societal norm that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going into a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who you know have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood, and it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why, to say, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me.
I completely understand her point because I really do feel that this candidate, President-elect Trump, is just a different type of candidate. From the things he's said and the things he's done and the things he will do, it's more of a moral issue for me. And I think it's more of a moral issue for other people. We're just, I would say it was different when, let's say, Bush got elected. You may not have agreed with his policies, but you didn't feel like he was a deeply flawed person, deeply flawed by character, deeply flawed in morality.
I think a lot of Debs called him deeply flawed and humanized him.
But you got to admit, they're very different figures. I mean, you along with Millie and along with John Kelly warned us about how deeply flawed he was as a candidate. And so I think when people feel that someone voted not only against their families, but against them and against people that they loved, I think it's okay to take a beat.
Let's be crystal clear here. Whoopi and her friends are openly advocating for Americans to cut off their own family members over political disagreements. And yet Whoopi Goldberg has the audacity to paint conservatives as the ones who can't tolerate different opinions and are rejecting her service because of her political beliefs? Yeah, I'm pretty sure she jumped to conclusions here. I'm pretty sure this is nothing but pure projection. Absolute projection. This whole bakery incident is just the latest example of how the left operates. They're quick to cry victim whenever it suits them, while simultaneously promoting division and exclusion. Whoopi Goldberg was all too ready to assume that a small business refused her service out of political spite because that's precisely the sort of thing that her side does all the time. Her accusations only serve to reveal her own twisted worldview. You know, instantly as I saw that accusation, I thought to myself, yeah, maybe, but I kind of have my doubts, because if we simply look at how conservatives actually behave in reality, it just doesn't line up with this kind of behavior. There have been some conservative boycotts, but they're generally rare and reserved for only extreme situations, like the Bud Light situation, for instance, or the teaching of critical race theory. Right-wing people simply don't behave this way. They can have conversations, they can disagree with people, and still be able to share the same space, but that is simply not the case for Whoopi Goldberg and the general radical left. They demand ideological purity. They want compliance, or you're not invited to the party. You have to agree with them, or you face accusations of racism, or every other ism you could imagine. You face boycotts or attempts to ruin your life. You know, I find this whole situation is almost like the perfect metaphor. Whoopi's little meltdown here says more about her own insecurities and bitterness than it does about any imaginary persecution of her based on her political beliefs. And once again, I think it shines a light on the toxic, divisive behavior that has become the left's trademark. They're not interested in unity. They thrive on creating enemies and sowing discord. And at this point, it's almost laughable how obvious and transparent it is. This was nothing but pure projection, another new low for the ladies at The View, and another totally embarrassing affair for the radical left. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.